Good evening, coming at you from Zoom. It's about 5:45 p.m. I'm about to go straight to the charts and BTC and what's going on with BTC. 5/7/2026. You see, I got some numbers on the chart on BTC as we get a pullback. You see 87, you see 100. What does that mean? Good evening, clients. Warm-up video, YouTube video. Going into the weekend, I'm going to try to come up with a snazzy name. I'm doing Gator Monday. This is kind of Gator and Buddy going into the weekend. Can we get those weekend alt moves and weekend crypto moves, BTC move, Ethereum move, Litecoin move? A little bit about what this video is about. I'm going to give you a good 20 minutes. I got a lot of stuff to show you, but I don't want to go too fast and I don't want to try to cram too much in so fast. I'm also speaking to my clients, and I'll be live in a couple of hours for an hour to kind of finish what I start bubbling up to the top with BTC. Most of the time, you're going to get me to start with the DXY, the dollar chart, because it tends to lead everything. Silver, the hot topic. It's been hot, so we're going to take a peek at gold and silver. I do still think they're both going down. BTC, I think we're going up. Do I think we're going to make it to 100? It becomes a magnet here. 87. Yeah, short term. I mean, the probability they're going to go check in at 87 is pretty high here. If I go from the 4 hour, I'm on the 4 hour. If I go to the day chart, you can see there was resistance right on the money, moving average, a pullback. The next thing you would look for here for a more extended move down would be the candle pattern that are printed. You can't see too much. So it's really just a retrace right now. Back into the 4 hour moving averages here. Okay, dip to the green. We just did that recently. What's the move look like so far going up since we had this collapse to about 60, and then everybody really thought that we were going to go ahead and go lower, and most people positioned right here for that, and for the most part. If you've been watching the videos, I didn't really feel like that was going to happen. It was on the table. War, oil. We'll take a look at oil tonight too. So it's been up and down, and it's been moving the metals around. Real important. And what's the dollar been doing? But BTC short term. It hasn't had one of those red phone calls. That's what I call it, red phone call. This move to me is still super bear move, or we could potentially just keep going. The rest of the markets of the world, speculative money, the stock market, good gracious, everything's going crazy. I could cover so many different things tonight with you. But the numbers on the BTC 87, 100 makes a lot of sense right now. I'm not a bull. We're going to be looking at price action. I do have a feeling that we're going higher here and a potential that we never topped and that there's a bull here. It's a sneaky little bull bear, super bear is what I call it. Sneaky bull bear, bull bear, bull bear. That's what you'll hear me talk about, the super bear. And it basically is a reproduction of what we did last time, but a little bit different. We've been in a bear since we breached 100. I'm not sold that it's going to be terminology what it comes down to. So a break of 100, are we going to go bull? Yeah, but it's a super rare to me because by the time you get back up here to a lot of this money, I'm not the one that's going to take you to 300 yet. Am I wrong? I could show you some charts where you go, Scott, they're going to blow VTC to the friggin' moon on you. Well, right now, I like the fact that there's a chance we could go to 144. We've had a lot of different stuff come through with the war, which for BTC it tends to do well at these periods in the past, and it has again. It's kind of stood the test of time. A lot of folks feel like this is a bear and it's going to continue, and we haven't finished, and we're going to go to 30 right now. I'll tell you, a lot of folks don't think we can make it that low. I do. Um, you know, one day. One day, give me 2 seconds, guys. They did something to my tools. Well, I was doing some Elliott Wave with the guy over on X. One day we're going to see that. Are we going to see that first? And then that? A lot of people are not going to agree with the move down, but I'm not going to agree with you. I've been watching markets too long now. There was a space down here around 12. that happened before that it didn't quite get to, but they got pretty close. So a lot of the people who are bearish here and have been bearish here since we did this move, and when it comes to traders and different things like that, have gotten liquidated, shortened too soon. Obviously, they didn't feel like this was going to bounce as strong as it has because it's a pretty strong bounce now. It's not a bear flag. I could go out into some higher time frames, but you really got to. Uh, I could on a higher time frame. You can see I'm on a 3 day. Another time frame. It's just not proper, but any kind of stalling out and a push up into these areas could eventually turn into a deep move. And a lot of people think that deep move is on the way, especially the bears. They would think that this is a sign. I'm here to say that's going higher. I'm probably going to clear the chart because it got a little ugly there. BTC, and we got to look at the dollar, and we got to look at silver, and we got to look at gold. And then I'm on these videos. When you start watching these videos, it'll be 2 a week like this. Some are around 20 minutes for you. And at the end of it, I'm going to throw in alts. But if I put alts in the beginning and put them in the titles and stuff like that, a lot of people are going to watch them. But the alts are what really caused a lot of people to turn crypto off. The BTC analysis, it goes with the rest of the market because you need BTC to go up over 100. And you need Ethereum to come alive, and you need Litecoin to come alive. In order for a lot of the people who watch these videos and a lot of the people that have watched me over the last 10 years to have a chance to have a lot of the time and energy and your money do what we did here with the MEMS. And I'll tell you right off the gate, and I'll probably move off of BTC for now. To me, the whole thing will be AI and it'll be narrative. The narrative will be AI and it'll be AI coins. And you'll see me regularly cover that narrative and those coins. I have different brackets. One of the last calls and one of the last things I started pushing, and you'll see me do it if you ever visit my Twitter. I got my Twitter up. Twitter. I got time to come over. My Twitter here, which is pretty new. You're more than welcome to come follow it, the YouTube link. And then I have a Telegram too. We may look at Telegram before I end the video, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. All these tabs, these are all charts that I may visit with you at the end of the video if I feel like I haven't went too long. BTC. DXY, we're going to go to DXY. Good evening, clients. I'll see you again in a couple hours, 8 o'clock. I'm coming from Zoom. These videos can also be, I can create documents with the AI. So I have AI hooked up to it as well, to the video. And then what I do is I dress it up and I take it over to YouTube, where some of you guys are listening to me right now. And you may have seen the shorts. The shorts are just kind of bringing to the long form, and I'm starting to develop this flow around the 3 hours I do every week with my private clients, and that I do over on Telegram privately. So got all that in, and now we're going to go to the DXY. The main thing that you're going to see me always go back to when I talk about all the assets I talk about, whether it be gold, whether it be alts. Look at there's the alt going moving. So there's been some decent alt moves, 20, 30, 40%, which for a lot of folks, and you see me rolling the board, it's because I'm hunting the DXY and I've moved it. No, it's right here. You see a lot of folks in other markets. Those are big time moves for folks who've been watching crypto a long time. With 30% moves, like you have to look at the chart. It could be absolutely destroyed. Weak dollar. I'll continue to talk about the potential of a short squeeze here. COVID. There has been rumors that there's another virus around, but it's not the first time I've seen that. This is presidential. This is COVID. Possible escalation of the war. There is a gap in the VIX chart. I'll slip that in. We may not look at the VIX because of just the timing nature of these videos. But my main call here is that we're going to continue to go weak. And let me go to the weekly chart. Monthly chart. There you go. The monthly chart brings you up on some serious support to the downside. That red moving average around 92 or 93. This to me is a risk alley. If you go back, this is when alt season happened before. Alt season happened before, and potentially alt season is going to happen again. 1, 2, 3. Quick way to understand the whole concept of me and my dollar. And then it's going to come into these metals too, because a lot of people feel like and you saw some of that, some excitement in the metal. Silver pretty good couple days, making a case that maybe we're going to see a potential move to about 109, which I've identified weeks ago in some of these videos. But I still say that we go lower on the metals, and I'm still a gold bear. So I've covered that during the shorts. I had some longer videos. I didn't quite like how I was presenting this. So this is really kind of number one when you look at watch the videos. If you go back and watch all the other ones, I've been doing this for over 10 years. I just had to get to, and I'm still kind of, I'm talking to the clients tonight. Good evening, clients. Good evening, Telegram. I don't think I messed up. No, we'll go into some more stuff here. So DXY main call is that we're going to find ourselves weak down into the 92 area, and it's going to be a risk on, and they're going to pump risk. Risk on. Obviously, with the crypto, a lot of what I cover on the risk on risk side, we're going to need potentially clarity to come through for the institutional coins, the main coins, the big coins. That's mainly where I'm kind of directing people for right now. Hey, if we're going to have any kind of excitement here, Ethereum and Light are going to be part of it, and BTC will most likely need to go over 100. So I'll come back in the next videos and kind of look at that path. If we do get up to 100, what I think there's going to be some pullbacks. There's going to be some volatility. I still don't think you're with BTC that you're safe from a 10 or 15% sell off. I think if we get that at this point too soon, then we're going to go bear. And yeah, those guys that said we're going lower are right, but most of them only go to 40 or 50, and I'll take you lower than that. 12 to 144 is the concept in so many ways is the way it's kind of presented. That when we were at 16 or 70 on Bitcoin, I said 12 from the top. I said 12, and then everybody was saying 12 as we got down there. I didn't really like 15, but then the move up was always been about 144 for me from about 60 when all the regulation and all that stuff got clear. Before that, it was a news trade, and I'm not a news trader. The charts are going to take me to my trades way before the news. The news just plays it out for me. And I did not like really the move from 30 to 60 on BTC. I didn't like what was going on with BTC. Different kind of story now as we go into this and the way I feel about BTC and the after effects of all this, no matter what happens, especially when we decide to go real bear for me and go way deeper, that our future targets are 300,000 in the cycle that does that move. How do we time that out? That's one of those things. So, timing is the weakness of all of us. I would say that 300,000 target is at least 5 years out, probably more, I would say. But when it comes, the chance to get BTC around that 30 area or DCA and or cost averaging or whatever into your BTC around that 30 area becomes a very valuable asset class for people who have the money to properly invest, because a 10x on any investment with proper funds, and that's what we're talking about, an asset class that has developed over years, has passed the test of time, that is eventually going to 1 million. I'll tell you that. And I'll tell you silver's going to 1,000. And I won't blink an eye at you. I've got all the time in the world. That's to people will be like, nah, well, how long is it going to be before you determine that? I'm telling you, it's going to make it to 1 million, and it's going to make it to 1,000. And if time don't tell you, don't ask me. DXY, I think probably the other stories going on is obviously oil. There's some pretty good pumps. JTO, you see the 40%, the 30%, big time numbers to normal people. Bigger coins like Light and Ethereum haven't went anywhere yet, but we'll see how that goes. Notcoin and Ton are having some runs, so there's some definitely energy coming through with alts and all of that. The excitement with silver on X. I showed you my X. So you see my X. You haven't seen my X. You see my X account. There's an X account obviously on YouTube, and there's a Telegram as well. So if you're interested in that, and I'm pretty easily accessible if you look through the links and decide to message me, just make sure you're serious. So you can see oil, and oil is the story today in so many ways, and it sold off and then immediately retraced, and it's probably going right back up. There's a gap right there about 110, and this is moving the metals around, and this is why the silver goes and what's going on with silver. And honestly, the metals weren't making that big of a move until this thing got kind of volatile. And that's kind of what my thought process on this. And there's also a gap on oil. You'll see me cover this. I'll keep on moving. It's not my main plays, but I do cover this who in the in the longer versions when I have more time. It's not the big thing. There's not a lot of oil traders, but I definitely understand my charts and my asset classes. Forex you'll get, and I was as I develop the YouTube channel more, I can put more forex videos over there once I get people watching the videos for the value of the video and not necessarily the calls. The calls are wonderful, but I got a lot of stuff I can teach you and show you and tell you about, and I keep up with a lot of stuff as well. So silver, so it's pulled back. It's like 6%. Big moves for silver. Get the guy, the silver crowd, especially the stackers and all of them. They get excited about this. I've seen some horrible TA on this. You know, for one, it's just a dip. The the short sellers came in at the 50, and they'll have to beat that, and they could, and they've had a pullback, and this is the area. My call was if it gets over 80 and it can hold it. And then, that's where you make your decision at. You're going to go long or short here. I'm going to sit tight because I think this thing is top. And I think that it's going lower. If I was doing the paper side, I'm a physical guy. Physically, I say the next round is going to go to 220, 400, 300, 220, 280, 300. I've got videos and stuff on that. There's an area which is affectionately called a square up area. And that's probably be the best way for you to begin to understand what I'm talking about. Is just think of that as a square 109. And if it takes off, that is the target. But I still think it's going to end up being a. If it does that, it'll be an a big B, and there's a C wave coming. Gold is still bearish to me. There's fundamental reasons why silver can make a run all by itself. I don't see it. I haven't seen enough proof. And you can see gold just sits here. They went up like a short squeeze. A lot of people are calling for a bigger short squeeze and all that. I'm just not in the camp, but price action will tell us here. To me, gold's going to make a move to 3,000. All the stock markets and everything and the indexes, everybody likes to come in and call for a big crash before they really actually, look at the data and look what's going on. Earnings through the roof, all of that kind of stuff. And it's just not looking like, the end of the world. And the war stuff is obviously back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But you begin to see the market kind of start to price it out, although oil said, So they're still head faking. And a lot of people think oil is going to make its way up into 200 and 250 and all that. I'm not really in that. It's got a gap below 70. I'll continue to track this. Monday's Gator night, so you'll get, about 20 minutes like this on Monday night. You get 20 minutes like this on Thursday. Reach out. You can come over to the Telegram, more charts and stuff like that. I just showed you the Twitter. I'm just doing a little bit of okay, like and subscribe. So a lot of people will watch these videos and they won't subscribe, and it helps me. It helps the YouTube. It helps me want to do it more. It helps me make better videos for you. Think about it a little bit more, and put a lot into it when you're watching these YouTube. So like, subscribe. I got that in. I feel like I kind of went too fast again, but when I look down, we're well under 20 minutes. So like I told you with the alts, obviously, as you watch on my right hand side of my board, you see lots of symbols, and a lot of these are alts. I've been doing it for a long time. Pinger was my last call, and you can see I'm not telling anybody to do anything with it unless it has a pretty good retracement. Now the call was down here about 0.007, which is kind of the same, but it's kind of funny because I got 0.007 on there. Uh, but this is more private stuff. And honestly, it does have to dip down into that 0.077 area, down in this area. And it was there when I first started showing it. 0.006, I think, was the first number I put on it. Potential of a 10x. Let me look at that other chart. So this is the type of charts that I would give my clients. Not the after the 0.077, a 0.007 to 0.08, and it kind of picked up, pulled back, and then I put another number on it, and you can see 12, and it needs a pullback. Going into this more detailed, how I come up with that and all that stuff. That's training, that's lessons. I kind of do that, but you can see the first target here. A lot of people will give you, I think, probably one on this one. Well, they give probably one. No, they'll say a buck, but that's a long ways. Point 10. Could it do point 10 there? Let's see. I'll give you a little bit of shield. Now, I'm not here. I wasn't here to try to phone you out or anything like that. I'm just showing you some tools real quick. and what you'll get by coming back and subbing and liking. And if you get more serious, coming over and seeing about the more extensive 3 hours, the Zoom documents. And I'll show you something. So I showed you a Pingo. I showed you some good entries. Obviously, that'll have to be time tested for you if you've never seen my work or never seen me do anything. But it's taken off and it's done a good move. And there's some other coins that are related to Pingu that I could go into. But what I wanted to do is this is the Zoom. I use Zoom and I use an AI. You can see on the left-hand side, market review, Bitcoin analysis. This goes with the 3 hours. If you have access to this, the other stuff that I do on the Telegram, that is more private. You can see BTC analysis, price action, and resistance levels. This is what I talked about Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Thursday night, 8 p.m. Friday, 9 a.m. is when I do the live rooms for my crew. Current movement breaking through 83, targeting 87 to 90. So we talked about that a little bit. Key resistance areas, which we hit the 87 to 93. The 96 to 97 is to lift up the real resistance there. So if you understand support and resistance and market sentiment, most traders expect a correction, creating contrarian opportunity. And you can see this is what it does with everything I discuss and go over. You can see Pingo to top recommendations right now. TAO near ICP link. These are some of the coins that I covered Wednesday morning, live at 9 a.m. Now, this is the Gator. This is kind of the YouTube in the back and the AI, and I'm just wanting to go over and show it to you because this is kind of it. I felt like it was a good segment. It tries to lay this out for me. It doesn't work so well for me. You'll get listen to my videos enough. You'll get used to kind of. I like to just come in and flow with it. They try to lay out what I'm supposed to tell you, but I thought this was good. The sectors. Layer ones, Ethereum sold the first movers if we do truly get an alt season, which we'll need a weak dollar for that. I covered that at the beginning. DeFi follows Ethereum. So DeFi moves harder. Ethereum moves, DeFi moves harder. Technically, Ethereum has not had a bull market. Litecoin has had a bull market. AI tokens, I think that's going to be put on all of them. More of that to come. And then the meme coins I covered, Pingu. You could look at Popcat and Boink, BO NK, which I tend to go BOINK for a while. So I want to show you that. That's kind of how I work on the videos and the formatting and everything that I show you. Go back over to Pingu. I'm looking down at the clock. And I'm right there at that time where, how do I keep you? I could continue to go, but I don't have that next thing. So XRP, you want to know XRP? I have a short video and I do feel like XRP is going to go lower, but I do feel like XRP is going to do the Zeke move. I believe that Zeke is top, and I believe that XRP is going to eventually go down there. But I also believe that XRP has been around so long that now on the next bull alt season cycle, and I don't think it'll be this one. I think what's going to, and I could be wrong, but this is what I think. They're going to do like that, like they're doing with Zeke. It's already had a run. It was a great one. And this will take you to the questions of have we had alt season, or is alt season going to show up and and clarity is going to pass, and then we're going to see XRP go to 8 or 9 sooner than what I think, but I think it needs to be cleaned up down here. So it's very perplexing kind of situation here. I think getting it cheap is the only way to really deal with XRP. And a lot of these coins have been absolutely just go through the alts and you look at the alts. If you're new to all this, it's a big time education when it comes to these coins and what's going on here. So a little bit of XRP to end it. I'm gonna let this one go. Thursday going into the weekend, Thursday night, and then a Monday, Gator Monday drop, and I'll just be processing the weekend. And I kind of do the same kind of video with you. It's just a warm up for my hour tonight, which is part of my 3 hours every week. And once again, and if you like what you hear and you're interested in more information, hard on the crypto. That's the group that I have more privately, but the metals and stocks, pretty much anything in the forex is once again, I'll tell you, is my main thing, and I show it a lot as well. It's hard for people, but I'm very good at the forex. I'll see you in the next video.